Hey guys, welcome to the Zest Mobile T1 unboxing and video review. This little guy just arrived with the courier earlier. Let's take a look what's inside. It's a pretty nice box, as you can see from the outside. I think this is the black model that I've got. It comes in the two variations here, the black and the pearl white. And I've got a whole bunch of specs. I don't know if you guys can see that. Basically the Android version, the CPU comes with a few apps and stuff like that, space for memory card. Let's take a look what's inside the box here quickly. As I said, it's quite a nice box. That's the phone. We can take a look at that in a bit. This is type of like a foamy, rubbery type of thing. I'm assuming this is some stickers, some Zest stickers. You can pop them on your car, like those monster stickers. The Zest Mobile, bit of a pamphlet. There, you can also go to the side. You've got your standard wall adapter with USB, your USB cable, I'm assuming, yeah, it's a USB cable. This is the battery. It's quite a light battery, nice thin battery. And your earphones. I'm not sure what these are like, we will test them later in the review. Obviously it's just your normal 3.5mm jack. Cool, so let's take a look at the phone. So let's take the plastic off. Obviously this is a properly cool phone. There's more of the specs available. I'm sorry about the glare and stuff. This is a dual SIM phone, so we can go ahead and open this up. So that's quite cool. It's on the side. There we go. That's really cool for SIM 1 and SIM 2, or SIM 1 and SIM 2. Sorry. Zest Mobile, all the normal fancy sticker type of stuff. Take that. Look at the battery. The battery is actually very thin compared to others. I'm assuming it'll go in this way. Cool, and again the specs on here, Android 4.4, apparently it's 4.4.2 on here. We can have a look and see if it's going to get the latest upgrade to 4.4.3. That was only updated on the Nexus range the other day. Let's go ahead and close this up. Go over a couple of the phone features. Obviously it does mention that it's Android 4.4.2, which is pretty much the latest one you're going to get. Only the Nexus range, and I think a couple of Motorola phones actually have got 4.4.3. The main changes in 4.4.3 obviously are the dialers. This is a fairly stock standard dialer. Obviously need your contacts and stuff like that first. There's nothing wrong with that dialer though. It's rocking a quad-core 1.3 gigahertz processor, which is not bad. It's decent. It's more than enough for your day-to-day tasks. It's got an 8 megapixel rear-facing camera, multi-touch 4.5-inch LCD screen, which is a little bit smaller than the Nexus 5. I'll bring that in to compare with you just now. It's got 1 gig of RAM. We'll look at the dual SIM just now because that's the most awesome. Over the updates or OTA updates, so I'm assuming we can upgrade to 4.4.3 at a later stage. It's obviously up to the manufacturer how they look at that. It's Wi-Fi enabled. It's got a Facebook app pre-installed with you, which is pretty nice to get you off the ground if you don't know a whole bunch about Android. It's got GPS functionality, micro SD card, which is really, really cool. It contains up to 32 gigs. And it's got 8 megs of ROM, which is more than enough. So this phone should be able to handle day-to-day tasks, multitasking, basic 3D gaming. It's a really nice looking phone actually. It's got a nice feel to it. It's a nice rubbery back. Cool, there we go. Zest T1. Let's just wait for this guy to boot. Center that in the screen view. Cool, and there's the Afrihost branding on there, which is really cool. Normal slide to unlock for Android. Obviously I don't have any SIMs in here at the moment. So this will take you through the general setup. I'm not sure if you guys can actually see that. It says welcome, make yourself at home. So let's hit OK, organize the space, cool. And okay, that's actually a really nice quick setup. You've got your main home screens and stuff like that. There's no Google Now launcher yet. You may have to set up your Google. I think the Google Now only works for English US. your normal pull down, basically telling that your SIM 1 and SIM 2 slot is not there. I don't know if this is any better. You obviously need to go set up through the time. That can be quite cool. So obviously we just go through the settings. We can see the Android version here about the phone. Sorry. Yeah, Android 4.4.2. That's the normal KitKat. There we go. Cool, so you get your developer options and stuff like that, all pretty standard. Let's go through a couple of settings. For some of the guys that don't know, if you do your one finger down, you can obviously see your updates there. Again, I don't have any SIM card in here, so it's going to show emergency calls only. You can see I've got my Gmail set up. It's busy updating my Play Store stuff. You can close that. Also, another way to close it is to open it and just swipe it through if it's not an update, obviously. If you do want to get to your quick contacts, like a quick swipe down menu, use your two fingers to swipe it down. You've got your own information. Once that syncs up to Google Plus, it'll be there. Your battery information. That'll obviously show you how much battery time has been used, if it's charging or not, what's actually using the battery, which is using the most amount of energy. Your settings, that's obviously straightforward. We can go through some settings a bit later. You've got your Wi-Fi options here, Bluetooth, location settings on and off. That's basically your GPS, airplane mode, data connection, which is not going, your data usage, which is obviously very nice. It'll show you your Wi-Fi. It'll also show you your mobile data once you have a SIM inserted here. It'll show you the total amount of data. Yeah, you can also, sorry, let me just do that again quickly. You can swipe down once. If you want to get to that the quick swipe down menu, you can just push that on the top right there. What's nice with this, I see that they've built it actually in their custom ROM as audio profiles. So you've got your general, silent, meeting, outdoor. Obviously, you can customize these at a later stage to what suits you. You've also got the brightness settings. Mine is on full just for the purpose of the video, but you can put it on auto, obviously save yourself a little bit of battery power. Another thing you can look at is auto rotation, so whether the screen auto rotates or not when watching a video, or you're on the internet and you want to rotate the phone through this way or that way, you can turn that on or off. And then quite a cool feature that I saw here is cast screen. So if you've got Google Cast set up at home, plugged into your TV, you can play video, audio, whatever the case is, directly from your phone. And it's actually quite nice that this doesn't come stock with Android. It's obviously something that has been built into the phone. You just hit cast screen. You obviously need to go set up through the Google Cast process a bit later. We can go through a review of that in a bit. Your settings, all pretty stock standard Android. If you're used to Android, you've got your Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. Flash alert will flash the camera flash at the back of the phone. You can obviously set that up for whatever notifications you want to. Audio profiles went over display pretty much. Gesture censoring is quite cool. You can turn that on. You can learn about the actions. So in front, if you're cooking or you've got greasy fingers or whatever, you don't want to touch the screen, you can use these type of gestures. So you have them for the gallery, music, your camera. Basically, you don't have to touch the actual phone. You can just kind of swipe it over and it'll work like that. Your apps is obviously what you have downloaded, installed, what's on your phone storage, what's running. That's basically all Android's, pretty much Android application management. There's all that shows your internal storage as well, which is nice. Your location, basically all straightforward. Security, you can look at the different type of screen locks. They're all stock standard. So you obviously got your none, which is what we're using now. It's just swipe across and it's unlocked. You've got your slide. Face unlock is facial recognition. The pattern unlock is the standard pattern. You can go through the pattern. Pin code or password you can unlock with the phone with as well. You also have widgets available for your home screen. If you want to have a clock or maybe a third-party widget, you can download off the Play Store. Your own information will pick up in where it says owner. We're not going to bother about that now. Whether you want to make your passwords visible or not. Device administrators is basically for your application. So if you have an app that needs one less of root access, you can set that there. Unknown sources is for apps that you can download off a website, third-party apps that aren't off the Play Store. That's basically it. Obviously, backup, reset, language, and input. You've got your basic Google keyboard and your Google Voice typing as well. Text-to-speech output. It's all pretty standard stuff. Pointer speeds. Let's just go through. You can obviously add your accounts here. So I'm busy syncing up with my Google account now. Stock, you can obviously corporate is the exchange. Facebook, self-explanatory. Google, IMAP, and POP3. Obviously, when you download things like Twitter, Instagram, and you activate those, they'll come up here, and you can select your sync settings. Cool. So Google accounts are basically self-explanatory. Date and time also self-explanatory. What I found quite a cool feature over here was the schedule power on and off. So, oopsie, not that one. If you go into that one, you can say kind of every day at 6:30 or 7 o'clock or 9 o'clock, or for me 10 o'clock in the morning. You can set your phone to come on automatically, and you can obviously set it to go off automatically at your certain times. It's obviously nice. You don't have to worry about putting it on silent, or don't want to get disturbed at night. Your accessibility is kind of the accessibility. You got captions and magnification and stuff like that. Developer options, don't really need to talk much about that. I'm not 100% sure on all of these type of windows. I'm pretty sure you can go through a couple of them on in your own time. It's not going to break the phone or anything like that. And then obviously you got about the phone, your wireless update. This is an update through the manufacturer, so it's through Zest. You can check for the updates. It's probably going to say we're on the latest one. Yeah, it's all up to date there. You've got your build number, kernel, baseband. Again, the Android version. If you tap the Android version a couple of times, it'll bring you the KitKat. You can just click that a couple of times. It brings up Android KitKat. Okay, I've gone ahead and I've installed the Google Now launcher. It's basically up to personal preference about which one you're going to use or not. It's available on the Play Store. To me, it's a more seamless type of home screen system. Again, the one swipe to the left really works for me. So it's called the Google Now launcher. Again, it's available through the Play Store. And when you install it and you click the home button, it'll ask you which home app you want to use. Launcher 3 is the standard one, and then your Google Now launcher. So I'm going to select always for that, and now I'm on a Google Now type of home screen launcher. Again, the one swipe to the left brings up everything. I think it's quite similar to iOS actually in terms of that. It brings up basically what you want. So it'll look at your weather, it looks at your Google search history. It'll look through that. So if you're looking at buying a whole bunch of pairs, it'll pick up a whole bunch of websites related to pairs, and it'll follow and track the news for you. Also, what's great with Google Now, if you're flying, you're booking accommodation, ordering something from Amazon, it all ties into that, looks at your Gmail, and looks through all of that information, and it brings up all in one screen basically with a whole bunch of cards. That's all you can customize yourself. I've actually, using this phone for the last half an hour or so, I've actually been really impressed in terms of its smooth transitions. The performance on this phone seems great. Let's go through here. I mean, you can open that up there. It'll open everything up here, all of your apps. I looked at playing Angry Birds a little earlier. Let me just open it up fairly. Let me just close it quickly. We can close the Play Store. See, I've got a couple of Chromecasts, things open in the background, and we can just go ahead and open up Angry Birds just to see how quickly it launches. So that's pretty much it. The gameplay is nice and fluid. I feel it's got a nice responsive, sorry, let me turn this down quickly. I feel it's got a nice, really responsive screen on it. You can obviously see if you're going through the levels. Everyone knows how Angry Birds works. You can obviously pinch to zoom in and out. And for me, I think this is perfect. I really like the screen. It really gives you a nice sense of feel. I haven't had any mistypes or anything like that. Okay, so I wanted to show you a bit of the media functionality around this phone, which I think is really nice. It's got quite a lot of functionality built in. We're going to look at a YouTube video as well as just a locally recorded video quickly. Just so if you guys don't know, if you pull across from the lock screen, it'll open up your camera. And in your camera you can obviously take anything from there. That's the latest video that I've got there, and there's a couple of images. In terms of the images, the picture quality is really nice. You can obviously, there's the zoom in and stuff like that. It's a really responsive phone. The video we can have a look at, the actual playback is nice. You can obviously hook that up to your Chromecast or basically do whatever with it. It's basically just my cat eating some lunch. Okay, so we're going to go over watching a YouTube video quickly. We're just busy watching an ad for Nike. You need to remember that the YouTube application only natively plays up to 720p, so we can go ahead and flip that over. Okay, let's just go ahead and skip this ad quickly. I'm opening up a video from the Slow-Mo guys. If you guys haven't checked them out, you definitely need to. They've got some really awesome slow-mo stuff. We can just let this footage play a little bit. Also, this will give you an idea of what the speaker quality is like. Again, I don't have studio quality microphones, so it might not be the best representation, but it should give you a rough idea.
Selection. That's just rewinding a tape.
Let's just skip forward a little bit. I think the color representation on this device is really phenomenal. You know, I think it's right up there with the decent phones. Obviously, if you're going to nitpick and put it through its paces properly, it's probably not going to stand up as well. But I think to the naked eye, it's really good. Also, a great feature that I was trying out earlier today was playing it through to my Chromecast, which we can play through here. Okay, so in comparison to the Nexus 5, this is the Nexus 5 over here, and this is the T1. The bezels on the 5 are a little bit thinner, and the bezels on the top or on the bottom are pretty much the same size. Obviously there's hard buttons here as opposed to the soft buttons on the Nexus devices, but that's the way the Nexus devices work. It's basically the same. You got your home button in the middle. That obviously opens up Google Voice and stuff like that. And if you hold that down, that'll open up your multitasking windows, which you can obviously go to and then close at a later stage. The cool thing about this, the T1 as well, it shows you how much RAM you've got available, and obviously if you have apps open here, so we can open up the Afrihost app quickly, and we can just close that, maybe the camera, and the browser. So if we hold that down, this little button over here will kill all the apps, which is pretty cool, and it'll open up your memory, which obviously in turn saves battery life and everything else, but you guys will know that. Your Hangouts in 4.4.2 are pretty damn nice. We can actually get rid of the Nexus quickly. This is all about the T1. Your Hangouts or your messaging app, it'll basically contain your Hangouts, which is your Google Hangouts or your G-Talk conversations, as well as your SMSs. So if you have a contact, say you'll have contact A, they can have a cell phone number and an email address allocated towards them, and you can switch between SMS functionality and then your Hangouts functionality as well, which is pretty nice. The ROM it feels more like CyanogenMod, to be honest with you. It's got some really cool features built into it. The camera is actually quite nice. If we can just open that quickly. Can just go to the camera. So that's obviously the rear facing camera. We can just get something here, which is quite nice. Obviously the tap to focus, it's got a pretty responsive and fast auto-focusing system. Okay, just to give you a quick sneak peek of what Android KitKat is like. One of the main features, or maybe most spoken about features, is the voice recognition. So if you're on a home screen like this, say you're driving, you don't look at your phone, you can just say, "Okay Google, what's the weather like in Cape Town?"
It's 57 degrees and partly cloudy in Cape Town.
Obviously they're speaking about Fahrenheit. You can change that to Celsius. There's a whole load of features. You can call your contacts through this feature, or by just saying, "Okay Google." That feature comes up, it'll listen to you. As I said, you can dial your contacts from there. You can do a whole bunch of options. I'll run through all of the voice commands in my write-up, so be sure to read that. Okay, in terms of screen quality, nothing official yet has been released from the manufacturer. They do mention that it's a 4.5-inch LCD display. I think we spoke about that a little bit earlier on in the review. What I've done is I've gone a little bit further. Again, these are unofficial results, so you can't really quote me on them. Basically, the resolution is 540 by 960 with 245 ppi. Your ppi is your parts per inch. It's basically your pixel density. Again, I mentioned earlier the actual pixels on the screen, they they are there, but they're really, really hard to see. With the resolution, at first I was like, okay, well, it's a little bit of a low resolution. Again, all these high-end smartphones are now HD. The LG G3 actually released a 4K display, or close to 4K anyway. But yeah, I mean, if you're going to watch videos, which we're going to do in a bit, the screen is perfect. Again, as I mentioned, you can hardly see any of the pixels on the screen, which is always a good thing. Cool. Thanks for watching the review, guys. I really do appreciate it. I hope you're as excited about this phone as I am. I've been really lucky to get a sneak peek of it. It's been really, really great reviewing the phone. I've been really impressed by it. I think you guys will be as well. I think at the beginning I was comparing it a lot to the Nexus 5. I think that comparison turned into more of a competitor, to be honest with you. I don't think on the overseas market so much. But I honestly think in our local market, in the South African markets, even in the African markets, this is a really, really great smartphone. If it's going to come in at a really good price, which I can only assume that it will, it's going to come with Afrihost data, which is even better. It's a really, really hot contender in the market, so keep a lookout for it, and keep a lookout for more videos from me. Cheers, guys.